This is Larry Jordan, the host of the Digital Production Buzz. The following interview is an excerpt from a recent program. To hear the entire program, visit digitalproductionbuzz.com. I really enjoy Marco Missinatos.
I'll try it.
I wrote it again. I'll try it again.
Missinato.
I really enjoy Marco Missinato's mission statement, where he writes that he has dedicated his life to the creation of music that inspires and brings peace and oneness to the world, as well as support humanity and Mother Earth at this delicate and difficult transition time. I like the broader vision that music can change society, which is what we want to talk with Marco about. Hello, Marco. Welcome.
Hello. Is this Larry or is Michael?
No,
both of you.
It is both of us.
This is both of us.
The guy
Hello.
that's...
Thank you for having me there. It's really lovely to have the chance to have some time with you guys.
We are delighted. The one that you're looking at, by the way, is me. That's Larry. The voice that sounds warm and handsome and avuncular, that's Michael.
Yes, I'm getting over a
okay.
summer cold, and hopefully I won't cough my way through this interview.
Marco, what got you interested in music in the first place?
My music was there for me since really literally day one. It was for me a way to copy with the dissonances of that we all have to encounter in our life. And so for me, when music was playing, it would instantly create a sense of oneness. So basically, the illusion of separation will go away, and so I would feel back home. So for me, music since the beginning was a way to go back home.
Now, were you playing music at a young age, or did you start composing at a young age as well?
I started composing right away. As soon as the first chance to come close to an instrument, and I remember I was 3 years old. I was excited about this little flute that was given to me, and I would spend hours and hours composing melodies on it.
At 3 years old, I'm not sure I could even held a flute. I'm very impressed.
Now, you're talking about bringing music to bring you back home. What kind of music did you listen to when you were home?
I would listen literally everything that would come along. At the time, TV was still in black and white, and we have only radios and a little jukebox to listen to music. So whatever was there, it would take my breath away. I would say pop music, of course Italian music because I was in Italy at the time, but also a lot of American music, and also classical music like Beethoven, Chopin, and then of course the jazz. I mean, a whole variety of music, because it doesn't really matter what kind of music it is, as long as it's been conceived from the heart.
Which gets me to a piece that you recently composed called Unfolding Secrets. Tell me about this.
Unfolding Secrets is my latest production as a composer and music producer. It has a fabulous host, Christine Hoffman, singing as a soprano vocalist. Is an album that has a flavor, a very symphonic flavor. It's called Unfolding Secrets, Symphony of the Heart, because it's music that has that frequencies, has the ability to literally open the heart.
Well, before we talk about it, I want to play a short 30-second clip and let you listen to it. And I want to talk about how and what you were thinking about as you composed it. But let's play the music. Marco, the feeling in that piece is amazing. What were you thinking as you composed this?
Well, actually, Larry, when I when I go to the instrument with the idea of composing, there is really no, in my personal experience with music, there is not thinking taking place, meaning I have to put myself in a situation of no mind, of stillness,
so that I can connect with, what can I say, maybe with life, we can say, or with source. Some people would say God, but with that part of life that is unseen and is still very mysterious, and that allows me to create, to literally download the melodies.
Marco, I was impressed with the amount of layers and the textures in that music. Was that recorded in a studio, or did you do it one layer at a time in a home facility?
At this time of the production of the album, we are still working with the layers of high technology, computerized digital music, with exception, of course, of Christine Hoffman, who sings live. But we are looking forward very soon to have a real symphony orchestra perform all the tracks, so that we can really have that warm analog kind of sound.
When has this symphony been performed anywhere aside from your album?
Yes, we did a series of concerts in Ecuador. We did a concert in New York and one in Sedona. And now we are working with attracting the connection for a potential world tour, in Europe, in the USA, and in Canada.
Did you do these concerts with with real instruments, real people, or was it all digital off of computer?
No. The concert were all live. We had several major concerts with the Symphonic Orchestra of Ecuador.
Oh, wonderful.
And then we had a situation like in New York, in Sedona, where we were blending a number of live musicians with the tracks. So it was, I would say, 50% digital and 50% live.
Lovely. So how'd you like that sound, that 50% digital and 50% live?
Well, it's music needs to be heard live. That's the bottom line. You need to listen the real musicians, the real instruments performing, and that's where the frequencies of the music really has a penetrating layer of energy that literally open up your heart, and that's what we are looking for, to perform as much as possible live with the live musicians.
Well, I want to give people a flavor of what your music sounds like. Let's try a second short clip from the album. I think this piece is called "A Dream for My Heart," and let's take a listen. It has the magical ability to take us somewhere totally different. I mean, it's an entirely different world. How do you manage that? I know that you're doing it from the heart, but is there a direction that you're feeling, or is it just totally unconscious?
I would say this is exactly what it's about to happen at this time of our wonderful journey as humans. We are starting to recognize that music is much more than entertainment. Not that there is anything wrong with entertainment at all. It's wonderful. But we are getting to the idea that music comes from sounds, and sounds is vibration, and everything vibrates. So there's a profound connection between music and our life, our existence, our cellular structures. And so when music is coming from a pure intent, meaning that there is no an agenda, a mind agenda, there is no an ego, there is no an expectation that something has to happen. When we position ourselves in front of the instrument with the purity of like a child, that allow these very pure melodies to come through. And it's something that is not just for few elected, it's just for everybody that, of course, are inclined to music can reach that state of purity. So at this moment, I would say musicians have a wonderful responsibility to really create and make a big difference in life. They always have done that, of course, but now more than ever, we are really waking up to new frontiers that needs to be crossed when it comes to music.
But it seems to me that music today is not listened to so much as consumed. It washes over all of us. How do you get people to slow down enough to actually listen as opposed to simply hear?
Well, I believe that at this moment there is a lot of people among humanity that are really looking for music that is not distracting, but is not distracting, but is more introspective. Because we are looking for a connection at this moment, because there is so many outside informations. We are constantly running, and it is very important that we find genuine situation that allow us to stay still and to really listen our true voice, which is certainly not the one that comes from, I would say, the matrix.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is fun to listen to, and it's nice to hope that people are actually listening to music and willing to hear the message that it contains.
Yeah, we all have that connection. Is whether it can connect us or not, I don't know. It can in certain occasions. It's why some people go to church and sing. And that collective kind of thing, it brings us together. Music always brings us together. So,
absolutely.
Marco, what projects are you working on next?
Well, right now I am involved in a different kind of projects, but the major object is to take Unfolding Secrets to a world exposure. And definitely to produce, to attract the right situation that will allow us to do a world tour, I would say, create this beautiful, to share as much as possible this beautiful experience. And so that's where I'm focusing most of the time at this moment. But I am also doing other projects. I am producing other music. And I want to expand the concept of a symphonic sound, and I want to expand it and use also other instruments, so include also rhythms, percussions, and other more digital and modern instruments. So from the point of view of production, that's where I'm aiming from right now, is to put between the symphonic orchestra and Christine Hoffman a variety of modern instruments.
A question that I was just rereading your bio, and you describe yourself as both a composer and a music producer. What's the difference between the two?
Well, the composer is a person that somehow has the ability to literally create the melody of what we call music, which is basically the conversation that the music exposes. Production is what happened after. It's like if you make a little baby and then you decide, okay, what kind of clothing we are going to put on this beautiful little body, how we want it to look like, what is the intent, and that's the production. So when I first composed the melodies, then I felt that the production felt very well that the production was going to be more like a classical, contemporary kind of style. And so I became a producer, and I started to produce the costume, the dressing around the melodies.
Marco, where can people go on the web to learn more about you and your music?
Yes, the website is marcomissinato.com. I can give you the spelling if you want. It's I, N like Nancy, A, T like Tom, O.
And Marco
Missinato.
Missinato is the composer and music producer for Sounds of Oneness. Marco, thanks for joining us today.
Sure. Thank you. Appreciate it.